Hello and welcome once more to Red Gaming Tech. My name is Amato. Today is the 23rd of February and this time I'm bringing you some little bits of information regarding DriveClub. As you know, the PSN free version is nowhere to be seen, and a PlayStation top executive for Europe was asked about this recently and whether it will actually see the light of day, and he was unfortunately rather non-committal, which is really annoying considering that, well, the PSN version, the free version of DriveClub, was promised about 2 years ago. Now, these comments come from Jim Ryan, who is the president of Sony Computer Entertainment Europe, and when asked about the free version, he did say it was still being looked at. However, when he was directly asked if he could guarantee that it will happen, he did say, quote, "I can't say anything at this stage," which is not exactly encouraging. Now, obviously, as you guys know, the saga of DriveClub is well documented, and when it had all that horrible problems at launch, the free edition was one of the casualties, and numerous features of the game were unavailable for quite a while, but the PSN version is undoubtedly the longest holdout. Now, as I said at the time, I could see why they had to cut it. They were having, of course, server issues, people not being able to get on and play, and cutting out the free version at least then made complete sense, and while it was a shame, I could see exactly where they were coming from. However, DriveClub seems to have stabilised somewhat, and while it's not exactly 100% perfect, it's a hell of a lot better than it was and works fairly well as far as I understand. I've been doing a little bit of reading. It seems to mostly be resolved. Of course, do correct me if you have experienced otherwise, but we have still heard hide nor hear of the PlayStation free version. So, yes, it's very interesting to say the least. And I also have a couple of comments from Ryan, basically regarding Sony Entertainment themselves and of course Evolution, who's the studio working on it, and apparently, according to him, they are absolutely distraught over the humiliating launch and are, well, working rather feverishly to fix them, and were at the time as well, of course. And he went on to say, quote, "I don't think anybody should labour under the opinion that there was any feeling of insouciance or anybody being relaxed about that being the case, that people were working 24/7. And that's an expression that's lightly used, but people were literally working 24/7 to try and fix this. And obviously, Evolution, well within their rights, very understandable that they were so distraught over the launch. Obviously, they've been working very hard on this game for a really long time, and for it to launch so horrendously is obviously not what they had in mind. They wanted a smooth launch with satisfied customers, and, you know, a little bit of bug tweaking and fixing is all they really probably envisioned once the game actually came out. So this massive trauma saga that DriveClub has been through, not exactly what either Sony or Evolution wanted. I do feel for them a bit, but mostly I feel for the people who, well, really looked forward to this game. As of course it suffered huge amounts of problems, and anyone who wanted to try the PlayStation Network version, well, they're kind of screwed, and we just don't know if it's ever going to happen. Hopefully it does. Fingers crossed in a couple of months or whatever we get a statement from Evolution or Sony saying, yeah guys, don't worry, it's coming out and we're going to give you a bunch of free stuff to say sorry for the wait. Then that would be cool, but to be honest, the ship might have sailed, and I think a lot of people probably lost patience and just moved on from this now, especially since we do now have the crew having been available. And of course other future races will undoubtedly come out as well. So I don't know, it might be a bit late for the PSN version, but I suppose late is better than never, so let's keep our fingers crossed for that. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.